Well, well, well. Welcome in, Constitutional. Nice video that you just put out. Everybody's fanboy relationship with silver when the price starts moving. And you have a couple of camps, right? When that happens, you have everybody's fanboy and hoping, we have some astronomical increase. But then all of the diehard stackers just don't want the price to go up because they still want to accumulate silver at, $20 to $25, physical price. So it's very funny to see who's who. I just buy. Like when I have money, I purchase. I bought stuff when prices were up. I bought stuff when prices are down. I try to buy more when prices are down, but that's not always possible. And so if I see something I like, I buy it. And that is my general rule. And it serves me pretty well. Most of the time, it's hard to go wrong as long as you're buying what you like and what you can afford. And I am going to try my best to catch that live with Lior tomorrow morning. Morning for you, early afternoon for me, but with it being Friday, I might get lucky and actually have some time. Oh, that one's rolled weird. That one kind of is too. But the good news is they're circulated. I can't tell if these have been opened or not. Like, the ends look very hodgepodge-ish. Like, I don't know if their machine was messed up or somebody, like, I don't know. They all look like that, though. That's getting me a little concerned. Huh. Yeah, they all look like that. That's super strange. Well, I can't think of the last time I saw a box rolled like this, but we will see what happens. I've seen a lot of people having luck with quarters lately. I get them when I can. I do the quarters more than I do the halves. I find more things. There's more die chips. There's more discoveries in these than the halves. So between these, the nickels I'm trying to finish, and the dimes, sometimes you find silver, you get lucky. But between all of this, I don't know. I don't think they really have been broke open. So we'll find out. If it starts looking real dry real quick, then we won't have anything. But just right now, I'm seeing, what looks like normal stuff. Salt River, but it's a Philly. Really nice Texas. We don't need it, though. Crossing the Delaware, no die chip. Work has been crazy and it's going to get crazier. So, I have a trip in a couple of weeks. I'm going to be going to... Oh, shoot, you know what? Hold on. I didn't even think about that. I'm supposed to go to Florida. Oh, no. No. July. Oh, no, yeah, I'm good. So I'm going to Florida in a couple of weeks for some stuff for work. Tampa area, I think. It's a really nice March Billings, but it's Philly. So that's going to be interesting. I'm already trying to scout some coin shops and things that I can go to while I'm down there. There's at least one. I'm not going to try to go too crazy. I don't like venturing out real far. Like if I'm on vacation or something, but when I'm going somewhere for work, I usually try to keep a relatively low profile. I'm not driving out real far from wherever I'm at. I just don't like that, air possibility of trouble, rental car breakdown 2 hours from where I'm supposed to be or something like that. Okay, who's in here? Oh, Poppy's in. Welcome in, Brazinger. Oh, we got something that's damaged. Yes, no problem. It's always exciting, and I do, occasionally on big flips, I'll give, something or a couple of things away. It's more to really just give back to the community. And there's some people, as you saw when you put the item up, there were quite a few people that, were obviously in awe of the coin. Thing was gorgeous. But that literally stated they didn't have the money to buy it, or, so on and so forth. So, obviously I can't do that stuff all the time, but when I can, try to give back to the community a bit. I like to, if possible. There's a beat up looking 67. Silver. Okay. Well, the good news is they look circulated. So hopefully we're actually going to get some stuff. I need my bag. Put all my rolls up so I can roll them back later. That's one of the things. There's been a couple of banks, new banks, open in my area. I need to go into them and see if any of them have a coin machine. Because I would love to just be able to go in and dump these into a Coinstar style machine at a bank lobby and not have to roll them without losing whatever it is, like 20% that Coinstar charges. Nickel stacking, welcome in. Kendall, it's good to see you, buddy. I hope everything is well. Ooh, decent looking bicentennial. That's crazy. These coins are what? Approaching 50 years old? This one's a little on the circulated side, but still has a lot of good luster and details. That's quite amazing. 80 crossing the Delaware, no die chip. Bessie Coleman. Need to bring the coin cam down so I don't have to struggle so much. I don't see anything on the plane. You see some die chips on the plane. I've heard like the sunglasses and maybe another spot or two, but I've yet to see anything substantial. Here's another one. Nothing. Nothing. Okay. 2019, but it's a Philly. Yeah, I was telling Constitutional, he gave me a ring last night. I forget why, some specific reason, question or whatever, and we were talking briefly last night after all the streams, and I told him, I was like, yeah, I gave away a $100 coin, which, he calls me names for, but, he gets it. And I explained what the coin was, and he was like, well, like, of all the coins to give away, like, why the pretty one? Like, wouldn't you want to keep that? And I'm like, yeah, but it's like, what'd you say? It's like 100 minted, it's real rare, I guess, or at least limited because of that. So it's not something that, giving something like that away is, I feel like, a little more special than like $100 Morgan can be got pretty much anywhere if you have the money. You know what I mean? I guess it's just that I saw something a little more on the special side and wanted to give back. Another Bessie Coleman. Lots of Bessies in here. Crossing the Delaware, no die chip. Salt River, but it's a filly. Ooh, okay, so I don't think this is my first one, but here's the... I can't even pronounce that. Edith Kanaka Ole, maybe? I don't know of much on these, but I'm sure there's going to be some kind of dye chips because the hair flows into the mountains or whatever that is, and there's a stream here where E Pluribus Unum is, and so there's a lot of things going on this coin, and I can totally see dye chips being prevalent on them as they go a little further. Say America Samoa, but it's a filly. Clear the table. So yeah, I have some stuff going on at work. It's going to be an interesting few weeks, months here coming up. I'll be around. I know I'll have a little bit of travel, but I'm basically transitioning. I was able to secure myself a new position that should be pretty beneficial for me. I forget where they say the doubling is on these. I think it's in the Liberty at the top. It's the Bicentennial D. And the other good thing about yesterday's trade day, you know, not a lot of people were buying. There were plenty of buyers, but like, you know, not that many for whatever reason. I think everybody was very apprehensive about the price of silver and whether or not it was going to go up or down. Sometimes when that happens, people are not always as keen to pull triggers on purchases. But I was able to snag up quite a few decent deals. One of the things I'm most interested in seeing is the Ancients that I got from Nathan Glass. I picked up, what did I say, like 5 of them? Yeah, something like that. I think 5 of them. And Ancients are weird. They can get expensive, and half the time they look kind of crappy, but you got to understand like where they come from. But it's just, I like old stuff, and especially if like it's in half decent shape. You know, you can kind of see details and stuff on it, even some of the lower grade ones. I just think that stuff's cool. You know, the history, kind of imagining how far this coin has come in the world, where it could have been, and now it's in your hand. I just like that. Delaware. So what's going on with everybody else? Yeah, those Ancients are cool. I have some higher grade stuff. A few. I'm trying not to get too crazy into them. But it's hard not to when you see something really cool. My daughter probably got me the worst, I think. It's like what's it called? It's like a widow's mite, right? And these things are all beat up. Like, I mean, they essentially look like flakes of what used to be a coin. And we saw one at the coin shop when we were in there. This was a while ago. And she said she wanted it because the flake was like in the shape of a fish. Nope, nothing on the ground. It kinda, I'd pull it out. I'd have to dig, but it kinda looks like a fish shape, like a goldfish cracker or whatever. And for that reason, she made me buy it. It was like a $50 coin, and I mean it's tiny. It's like this big. So I mean, there's stuff like that, you know, that you get sometimes, but mostly I like the ones with some actual detail, some coin there. I bought I've actually bought a couple off the Pawn Stars website, like early on. Not nothing too high dollar, and I'm sure I still probably overpaid. But they have those cool holders where they put the holder and some other decorative cardboard and some information about the coin in another plastic holder. I kind of like that. So it's a graded coin in another holder. It, it's a little bit better display. Kind of makes you feel a little better about what you're paying for, sort of. But yeah, I think on those, maybe about $100 per coin. I bought a few different ones. Not the best place to buy, but sometimes they just seem to have some of those ancients that, I don't know, like not a lot of people get a hold of. Salt River, but it's a Philly. Yeah, that's kind of why I went live. I'm sure there's somebody somewhere that's going to go live soon or something, but I didn't have anything going on. My daughter's in there being crazy, so I have some time to myself, so I thought, why not? Plus, these quarters have been sitting here. National Park Art, but it's a Philly. Salt River, but it's a Philly. The last time I said, if I remember correctly, the last time I said I hadn't found a W in a while, I found a W, and I would like to do so again. War in the Pacific, but it's a Philly. Also, I haven't found a silver quarter in a little while. Diggin' Dave put out a video, and I think a short. I think there's both. It's hard not to be excited. He was going through a box of dimes and saw a silver edge, and he thought, based on the wear and just the general look of the edge, he's like, oh, I probably got like an old Merc or something. And he pulls it out of the coin roll, and it's a Barber. I forget what the year was. I want to say like 1912, but it was in like better condition than most of the Barbers that I see, and still not like super fine or anything, but like, had details in the leaves on the head, and most of the actual face was there. So a really good looking coin, and super awesome to find something like that, in a bank box. Not for stackers or preppers. Dragon is the biggest channel for stackers. I wish I was on vacation like some people. Well, you can always take a vacation. It might not be sanctioned, but you can always take one. Can't guarantee you won't get in trouble later, but it's always possible. 65. Something about the 65s. Like, I don't know. I know they're made of the same metal. I don't know what they did. They look so much different. Almost like, and I've probably said this before, almost like they were trying to kind of like make them look closer to the silver. Somehow. They just always 65, 66, maybe even up to 67. Always kind of like, not trick me, but when you're looking at them, it's like, wait a minute, is that, because it just looks different than like even say like an 80s Washington. It has like a different haze on it. I don't know if that's just because of the age or my mind playing tricks on me. Tall grass, but it's a Philly. But it always seems to me like they did something a little different to those to try to make them look closer to the silver, so they would kind of blend in with circulation a little more. Because if you remember, the public wasn't super keen on it, and they didn't know how it was going to be received. This quarter has a really strong rim. It's a 92, but it's just got, almost looks like a grease strike or something. It's probably just damage. But it's got a real strong rim all the way around it. What's the back look like? Just kind of beat up. I'm not seeing anything crazy. I'm probably making it up in my head. Either that or it's like a polished road quarter. Just cleaning the air fryer, listening and cleaning. That's not a bad idea. I will admit I can't remember the last time like I took mine all apart, cleaned it, kind of degreased it. And people are getting crazy with them damn air fryers, man. Like they will cook almost anything in them air fryers if they'll fit. What did I see? I saw something. Dude was like cooking like a roast or like a legit like meal you would not think should go into an air fryer, and he was cooking one in an air fryer. Probably like TikTok or Facebook Reels kind of thing. Some people get ridiculous. I like to do a lot of baking, crock pot stuff, the easy stuff. Kind of set it and forget it, kind of Ron Popeil style. That's more my jam. I will cook, and I make some great like breaded chicken tenders, chicken chunks, those kind of things. The kids love them. Try not to get too crazy with the seasonings, but sometimes I'll make myself like a special batch or something and get a little more creative. But if I have time, I like to cook. Like, I think it's probably obviously cheaper. It's better for you. I don't always, and I probably don't even as often as I should. But when I do, I feel better for it. Don't tell Jeffrey Dahmer. You ever use a detector? Like a metal detector? I don't know. CS? Like, I don't know. There's probably a website that says like where. Did anybody hear about that hoard they found in Kentucky? Can you imagine? Was it gold coins? Let me see. I get my internet up here. Hold on. What was the coin hoard found in Kentucky recently? Okay. So, oh, yeah, it was. So, the hoard found in Kentucky, which is not far from me, I'm upset, was a hoard of 700 Civil War era gold coins unearthed in a Kentucky Kentucky cornfield, collectors say. I don't even know what coins they would be. Maybe American. I would guess like colonial pre-33, obviously. Like, well, no, maybe not pre-33. If they're calling them Civil War era, but I don't know if they're referring to the time that they were buried or the time that they're from. But regardless, a whole bunch of gold. Like, even if the coins are like $2.50 size, that's still a lot of gold. That's probably that's ounces and ounces of gold. Here's a really nice San Antonio Missions, but it's a Philly. Yeah, but I want to know how they found it. I don't want. Yeah. Okay, so he found it. Hold on, I want to see how he found it. Now I'm seeing pictures of it. Okay, here. I'll show you guys. So we will go display screen. I got to bring this over. You guys should be seeing this now. If not, I can't help you. But this is the picture. Looks like maybe there was some silver coinage in there. There's some big gold coins, a whole bunch of small gold coins. That's why I was saying, like, maybe, the $5, $2.50, I think, They made a gold coin about that size, and then like, look, you can see some of these. I'm assuming that's the real hoard, but let's see. Could be worth six figures. Oh, it's for sure worth six figures. Coins are dated between 1840 and 1863. So, okay. Gold Indians, gold liberties, $20 gold liberties, according to the government. Gold liberty from 1863 could be worth millions. Oh, jeez. Okay, I don't want to hear about. Okay, they don't say why the dude was. I'm assuming he was like plowing his own field or something, and something gold coins, and then they examined further, and that's where the rest came from. But can you imagine? Right? It's time to go south. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I know everybody says, I thought about getting a metal detector, but right now, I'm already pouring, right? I know. It's a long, skinny bar. I need to get a better mold, and I bent it trying to stamp it, right? But this one here is 6.4 ounces. This one here, so close. 9.6 ounces. It's a nice chunky bar. I got some other little things, this little loaf here, but so I'm working on the pouring, but like between the coin collecting, stacking, pouring the stack now, and then metal detecting is just one more thing to add to the list that I don't have time to do, right? So I'm probably going to hold off on it, but there is a park over here, and I know everyone says the parks have probably already all been gone through, and I'm sure they may have, but I never see anybody over there metal detecting ever. And I'm like right by the entrance, or well, one of the main entrances, and I don't see anybody over there doing that. So I got a feeling there's probably some stuff over there, and it's been a park for like a long time. It's never been anything else. So, at least in recent memory, like decades. So, there's probably some stuff over there. Fighting the urge to buy some cheap metal detector and go test my luck. Another bicentennial. D. Oh, wait. Oh, God, I gotta fix it. Jesus. I'm sorry. I don't always pay attention. Sorry. I'm up on Jeff's panel, but I came through to show some love. Oh, cool. That is very cool. You go hang out on Jeff's panel. I've been meaning to catch more of his. I caught one, I think it was about a week ago. Chappie told me I need to get over there and check it out. But they always stream at like slightly weird times. And I'm not saying that as an excuse. It's just, it's never really a good time for me. So I'll have to see what I can do about getting over there. But it's good to see you. And thanks for doing that short. I definitely appreciate it. I'm glad they made it safe. Salt River Bay, but it's a filly. Here's another Bessie Coleman. Oh, yeah. Before I got distracted, we were going to look at this. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's the Liberty. On these, the D, the Bicentennial. If I don't know, but if I remember correctly, I think that's the story on those. I don't usually look at them. But, there hasn't been a lot of fines. Actually, there's been no fines as of yet. So we must do what we must. Louisville is the gateway to the South. Yeah, I spent some time there. Right around the beginning of the lockdowns, I was actually down there in a hotel, and like everybody in the hotel, like the staff, all the people were like flipping out because, that's like their whole job is people going places. And so they were like flipping out. It was like kind of not pandemonium, but for them, like it was one of those like they're barely functioning or doing what they're supposed to do. That was like everybody sitting in the lobby just like speculating like what's gonna happen. I don't even think they had. Maybe they had. I think they had just shut schools down in like Kentucky and Ohio, and so it was getting a little crazy, and they were not taking it well. That was such a weird time to look back on. Hopefully nothing like that happens again, but at the time it was really, really odd. I just remember driving around like with what looked like post-apocalyptic, like there's no cars on the road, like some 28 Days Later stuff. Very surreal. 2019, but it's a Philly. Nobody was wearing masks. I don't think so. I don't think everybody was wearing masks. Not down there. I don't remember wearing a mask at that point. Philly. And besides, it's Kentucky we're talking about. I was surprised they were even locking it down at that point. But then everybody went bananas, and some people got a couple of years of me time. I, however, did not. Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people stayed, like, have worked, haven't missed a beat. Like, it felt different, but it didn't. Because when you go to work, and inside work, there's people everywhere. Granted, you got masks, you got plexiglass all over everything and all of that. But, like, it didn't, until you went outside of work, like on that drive home or whatever, that was about the only time where things felt really different because there's, like, nobody on the road. But other than that, it seemed kind of normal. It was weird. I don't know. And time just vanished. Last thing I remember, it was like 2019. Now all of a sudden my daughter's 10. Crossing the Delaware. Anything? No. Not really. No. Oh, in Louisville? Yeah, I was before them. I got out of town shortly. I think I was there like a few days after they shut schools down. And then I headed out back here to Ohio. And then I got to live out the rest of my sentence up here. I did go to Jersey. I went to Jersey, I think, during part of them. I went to Michigan. Oh, that's right. I was in Michigan. Was driving into Detroit. Like, literally, like, not downtown Detroit, but, like, leaving downtown, going probably north, I think. And, was driving into town. And I remember when all the alerts came through my phones that the governor had issued the mask mandate. So that must have been before all the, like, actual lockdowns. And at first, like, it said I had a couple hours or whatnot, and I went to stop by a store, and they already had somebody in front of the store telling people they had to have, like, a mask to come in. I made the argument. According to my phone and the governmental warning, I have 2 hours. Can I just go in and get my stuff and go? There's a really nice 2021. I mean, wow. little chatter, but pretty good looking coin considering. I hate these cameras. They don't cartwheel. They don't do coins justice. This is a decent looking coin. I'm not going to keep it, but you get the idea. So yeah, I took another job. It remains to be seen how long it's going to be before I actually get to transition. Because, you know, they got to backfill me and all this, that, and the other. But it should be relatively soon. Month or so, probably at the most. And it should be a better kind of position. I mean, not better, but just hopefully like a little less stress, kind of less responsibility, but there's still responsibility just in different forms. You know, so it should overall be a pretty good thing. And probably my favorite part about it, what is that mint mark? It's a filled in D on a 72. Probably my favorite part of it is that I'm going to have like a real schedule. Like real, like clock in, clock out schedule. So I won't have a whole bunch of the after hours stuff, hopefully, that I see now. And that's going to be obviously better. There's a Lowell, but it's a D. Darn it. Come on, W's. We have been through almost a whole row, and we haven't found anything worth keeping. It's upsetting. Well, we still got 4 on the top, so. Yeah, I don't know. Their rolling machine is just really weak, I guess. Way down in Kentucky, they say, yeah, Louisville. Like, Louisville. Like, I can't even say it right. They, like, smash the whole thing together. My buddy's down there, actually, a friend of mine. I haven't talked to him in a little while. I'm sure he's doing fine, but he's down there. He was getting kind of concerned with some of the riots and stuff that were going on. He's got like not young kids, but like teenagers to young kids, you know, single dad life. Louisville, yeah, something like that. They can tell if you're not there, if you're not from there, by how you say it, for sure. So, I like Kentucky though. My dad's down there. Actually, what is it? I think it's just a little south of Louisville, like out in the country. I haven't been down there in years to his property. 2020, but it's a D. Well, I'm dropping coins. Tuskegee Airmen, but there's no strike through. Need to get faster at this. Otherwise, we're going to be here all day. Kentucky quarter. Connecticut, South Carolina. 2019, but it's a Philly. Perry. 79. So what's going on with everybody else? Anybody buy anything cool? I did. I bought some stuff I shouldn't have. I did get Ray's belt buckle pour thing. U.S. Cavalry belt, I think is technically what it is. You know, support your local people. I got a COA in here, but I got this thing. He's had it for a while, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember all the price points that he's put on this thing. I was always kind of interested in it. Never really could pull the trigger, and I forget. I'd have to look back. I bought a couple things from him, so who knows? I think I want to say I paid about $150, which or somewhere around there, and so it's like 5.68 ounces. You know, and it looks like this, which is kind of cool, and it's double-sided, which is even more interesting, but, like, it's almost, like, just a little above silver price. So, when he had the price where he had it, I couldn't say no. And it's I don't think it's, like, antiqued. It's almost, like, blued. I don't know if that's a thing with silver, but it's got some kind of weird coating on it. To give it that look, and it's really cool. I like it. I will show you this since we're not finding anything in the coins. I paid a lot of money for it, like a lot of things I end up having, but what are you gonna do, you know? So, the lights are not gonna do this thing justice, but it's an 1882, right? The light's not really... Oh, the camera's slipping. It's really not going to do this thing justice. This thing does cartwheel like crazy. It's got very minimal chatter on it. It's just gorgeous. The back is even better. I know, again, the light's not doing what it needs to, but it's actually got like a bit of the cameo left. It is an S, so this is gonna go into my submission whenever I decide to take this mountain of coins that I have and start sending stuff in. This is gonna be one of them, but it's just gorgeous. I paid for it, but as far as Morgans go, it's in pretty good shape. Like, it might even get like a PL or even maybe a cameo. I don't know. It depends how nice they are to me, but it's gorgeous. And I'm very happy to have it. I almost picked up another one. It had the same coin, not in as good a shape. And it was packaged with, in like a capital kind of holder like that, packaged with a peace dollar, which was cool, you know, but that coin wasn't near in the shape that this one was. So basically I saw the nice one and paid extra for it. And then I also picked this up, and I forget who it was. Somebody talking about their favorite silver in a video, and I think this was like one of them. It's Valhalla Vikings. I don't know who makes it. It says ONG all Berserkers. It's a cool coin. It's got a ship on the back and a Viking on the front. How can you hate on it? But I paid a little bit for that because, you know, it's kind of premium. But I picked that up. I also got an MK bars, like Celtic, 1 ounce pour. I don't know if it's a pour or press. I don't know what they're doing with these. I'd love to figure out how exactly they're pour these little buttons. But I got this, and it's, I don't know. I just saw it. It was pretty cool, and I got this for $28, which, considering where the market was then, is basically, you know, generic price. So I will tell you, nickel stacking, the price now, so hold on, let me pull up my chart so I can actually give you what I see in the chart. So, I'm looking at it over here. There's a big push up. Now, it can always reverse at any time. It's kind of leveling out, right? We've had 2 days of heavy push, right? Has it been 2 days? What am I on? Yeah, I'm on the day. So 2 days, a heavy push. And we all know why this is. It's because of some of the BRICS information and then maybe some of the other reports that have come out. But I think predominantly this is a little bit of a jump before in anticipation for whatever this gold backed currency coming out in August is going to be. And I got a feeling it's not even that it's going to, because I was watching somebody's video today, more like financial whatever. It wasn't like all about precious metals, but they were talking about it and they said, well, everybody thinks that this is going to drive up the price of gold because gold backed currency, and they said gold's going to go up and then probably silver with it, but it's not for the reason that you think. It's not because all of a sudden all these people are going to value gold more because there's this gold backed currency. What it is the creation of a gold backed currency that is essentially now it's about half the world pitting themselves against the US dollar. That heavy competition, whether it's gold backed or not, the gold backed definitely helps its strength. But whether it was gold backed or not, that amount of competition for the dollar just does not look good. And so gold and silver and maybe even other metals such as copper and other commodities even are going to go up because of this, but not because of the currency itself being backed by gold, but because the dollar is going to go down in value. And when that happens, we all know that gold, silver, commodities of almost all kinds go up because people try to put their money into whatever safe haven they can, whether that be crude oil or physical gold or fiddlesticks, whatever they feel like investing in that's physical, versus the dollar when everyone seems to think it's going to go onto a spiral. So what I'm seeing here, I mean, like I said, it can cool off at any time, but the RSI is still really high. I mean, we'll see what happens tomorrow, but I will say for post-pandemic levels, right, which I've said a bunch of times, we are in uncharted territory. Like, we had history, we had some stability, we had some kind of idea what the market could do before all that happened. There was like a baseline. There's no baseline anymore. We are in this weird area, and in that, the average price through probably most of this has been about $25, give or take. It's been, as high as 30. It's pretty much flirted with 24, 25 range. Most of the time it's dropped down a few times, kind of low, but that's kind of like the median area. So if, in my opinion, we're just now coming back up to like a midpoint, I feel like we still have room to go. And I think when it does pop, then it's probably not going to really happen until sometime either right there around August or shortly thereafter, maybe this fall, once the teeth really get synced in on the dollar and people see the trouble that it might be in. I feel like this whole, like, everybody likes to talk about 30 a lot, 35. I mean, we could just skip that whole thing. We really could. I mean, we could go, I could see $40 silver steady once this gold-backed currency really starts spelling trouble for the dollar on a real scale. Yeah, I mean, because right now everyone's still kind of curious as to like what's it going to do, what's it going to mean, how's how's it going to be? And a lot of people are still trying to claim like, oh, it's not really competition for the dollar. Like anyone that's telling themselves that is just selling themselves a pipe dream. Like this is quite literally the biggest test of the dollar strength that I think we'll may see in our entire lifetimes. Because it's just there's so many people jumping on board. It's backed by gold. There's a lot of things going for it, and the dollar is already really weak. I mean, everybody's economies are really weak, but the dollar's just not doing as good as it usually does at the current point in time. So when they see weakness, they'll exploit it, and that's probably what's going to happen. I think what is today? Thursday. By the end of the week, I think we'll be at like 25.50. I think we probably got about another dollar in us maybe tomorrow. That's my thought. And then I think maybe like early next week we'll start trickling back down into like the 24. And then we'll just play with this until somebody gets closer to that date or more news starts coming out or more countries join. And then, we'll see more movement. But by the time August, like mid to late August gets here, we'll really start to see what's going to happen to precious metals in response to this. Like I said, it could. I don't really see a world where it goes down very much, but it could just skip right past the 30s. I mean, it literally could just go. Gold easily is probably going to reach a new all-time high shortly after. And who knows what that looks like. But, I mean, they've done it to themselves, and vicariously they've done it to us and our spending power. So, I mean, while it's unfortunate, I don't really feel bad for them, but it just sucks because we are a part of them. And so that means we're going to suffer a bit too. Obviously, stackers, maybe not as much as some people, but you got to pay attention. I don't like to keep up on world events. Politics kind of does get old. I try to keep a general idea of what's going on, especially like, with the global economy now. But, I don't surround myself in it constantly. But like this, it's like I said, it's probably one of the biggest developments in the global financial system that we may ever see. And, who knows? 5 years from now, it could flop and fall apart and everything goes back to business as usual, or it could go the other way. But I expect metals to see a substantial rise in the next couple of months. I don't really see, $20 silver happening anytime soon. There's too many people that anticipate metals and other commodities to go up. I don't see it. So I think 25, maybe 25.50 tomorrow, and then maybe we'll lose some of that early next week, and we'll kind of bounce around here, high 23s, low 25s for the next couple of weeks as these things develop. Well, no, that's what I'm saying, CS. I don't know. Because if it moves fast enough, if there's enough momentum and the public gets scared enough and everyone else, I should say, in the world is already throwing their money at, precious metals, mostly gold. But, I'm sure silver and platinum and other things are in there. If enough people move and institutions and other people, at a certain time, and we're at a decent price when that starts to happen, we could almost skip the 30s. And then if it goes up a lot like that, you'll get some sellers, but especially the faster it happens, you'll have less sellers because they're going to wait and try to see if it goes up anymore. The same thing happens with stocks. I see so many people lose their behinds on stocks because, like, when I was trading actively, because I'd watch people and they're like, oh, no, no, it's got some more in it. It's got some more in it. And they wait like a couple hours a day, whatever, 20 minutes. And then, things drop. Like, you could see we were, you never really know where the top is, but you have substantial movement. If you're really in there to take profit, that's the time. Um, but everyone always seems to want to hold out for more profits, especially when it's moving fast, which unfortunately is even more dangerous than moving slow, because when it goes up fast, it can come down really fast too, and oftentimes it does. But I don't know. This ain't just a normal market swing, right? It's got something substantial behind it, and I think most of the people that are investing in precious metals kind of know that. And so I don't think there's going to be a huge sell off, because any smart stacker would know if this goes really bad, you're going to want your metals, because they might be the only thing of real good value that you have, 6 months after this currency gets launched, if it goes really bad for the dollar. I mean, I'm no economist. I don't know like the exact ramifications of like how quick the dollar could die or how badly this would affect us, but I know enough to know it ain't gonna be good, and if it's not over quick, it could hurt a lot. And so in that case, any smart stacker would want to keep their metals. It wouldn't matter, like, and I might sell something, a little something maybe, if I needed that cash. But like, if the dollar's going down, I don't want them. I'll be buying more metals and getting out of liquid cash as much as possible, and kind of what a lot of us already do now, because if the dollar's on a death spiral, I don't want them. I'd rather have metals or copper or food in my fridge, anything not to be sitting on something that's worth less and less as time ticks by. Especially in that case, because it's going to be going fast if it's going down that way. I always want my metals. Yeah, I mean, most of us do. Collectors, collectors are a little different. Like, I mean, because, and I thought about this. Like, are old coins as valuable as they are because predominantly they are gold and silver? Is that where the majority? I mean, I know there's the rarity and all those other factors, but it just seems like most of the older coins that are really worth something, like they had their base metal is silver, gold, so they have good high values. But then you look at like their clad counterparts, and I get it, they're not as old, they're probably not, higher mintages and not as rare, and some of these things, I get that. But the clad, even on the collector side, unless it's really rare or something odd is going on with it, it's not worth a fraction. I know the metals play a part in it, but they seem to play a pretty substantial part. So I kind of wonder about the future of like real regular numismatics, like the circulation coins, the things I'm searching through here. Like, I don't think there's really a lot of future in the coins because they're not precious metal. I mean, the silver sets and commemoratives and any of the other special stuff that they put out, those are because they have some silver and some things going on with them. But like the clad stuff, it's in a lot of cases it doesn't even seem like it's almost worth grading them. I know, on the numismatist side, I'm a little wrong for that, but it's just not the same. It's not. Like, I look at this quarter, right? This bicentennial. It's nice. It's cool. It's still got some cartwheel. It's in relatively good shape. Okay, it's pretty. I like it. But it's not silver. So, like, it just doesn't do the same thing to me. And I wonder how much of that is like, the case. Like a lot of coin collectors and stuff have a lot of silver because that's what the coins are, or gold because that's what the coins are. But I just don't see everybody getting excited about all of these other things. They're cool, but just not as excited. So I really think metals play a bigger part into numismatics than a lot of people may realize. They definitely play a lot into the value of the coins that people collect. You can buy sets of all the state quarters and whatever else for. I think I bought one from one of my guys early on, and I don't even know if I paid face for it. I might have got it for a few cents off, and it was in a book, just because he wanted to get rid of it. Which means that he probably didn't even pay the person who sold it to him face for it. So they're cool. They just don't have a lot of value. Even really nice ones, unless they're super rare or have a low mintage, there's not a lot to them. It's very strange. It's almost like the coins have become. I mean, they're already kind of, and always have been, since they pulled the metal out of them, fiat. But it's like the coins are kind of, they show it more now, I think, in their value and their collectability. They're just not worth what the old coins are. Pay big time for paper. I have some paper, and I'll tell you what I passed up on the other day because I had to ask. It was very important to ask about things. Don't be afraid to ask when you're in a coin shop, especially if you don't know what it is. Exactly. So I see this bill in the case, and it looks like Monopoly money. It's bright white and green, and says like, I forget now. It said like American currency printing company or banknote currency company, something like that. And it looked like Monopoly money. And I looked at it, and they wanted like $100 for it. And so that's when I started asking them more questions about it. And they kind of didn't know. Had a date on it of like maybe 30 something. But that's where I was like, this doesn't look like 1930s. It doesn't look that old. And it's bright white, so it's printed on regular paper. It's obviously not a real note. It said it was like a sample piece or test piece. And what it ended up being was it was made in the 80s, right, by this company, I guess, somebody that works with like the Bureau of Engraving and Printing or something. And they were showcasing, this was the bill that they were using to showcase the security strip that they could add to the bill in the printing process. And that's what the bill was for. It was the test piece to show their technology that they could put into the bills. And so it was cool, but they just wanted too much for it. And if it had looked more like an actual bill and didn't look like Monopoly money, I might have bought it. But it looked too fake. It was still in good shape and everything, but there wasn't anything there that I was like, oh, that's cool, I gotta have that, So I did pass on that, but I mean, I know they're not worth much, but I collect $2 bills basically whenever I can find them, and I can stomach, taking that money out of my hands and putting it into a folder somewhere. So I do the $2 bills just because I want my kids to know. I always was collecting them. I had like a stack of them for the kids when they were babies. Um, and then I guess I just kind of built onto that now that I'm a collector. But I got, silver certificates. I have a couple large bills. I don't have anything that's like super expensive. No die chip. I try to keep it reasonable, especially on that. I know they're worth money and people will buy them, but I feel better with some metal than a piece of paper. Even if it is, collectible and worth something, and all those things are true, I just don't have the same feeling about currency that I do about metals and coins. And so, for that reason, I'll collect them, but it'd probably be rare for me to spend more than like maybe $50. I have a Hawaii note my son wanted. I think I paid like $45 for that. I think I have a gold seal African 5 maybe. I think I paid a little bit for that. But yeah, I try to keep those pretty reasonable. Who is sending me attachments? Oh, okay. It's my brother. He's doing something. I think he's starting to try to like refurbish like the sneakers. Like, take old and build new. I'm starting to wonder if these haven't been searched. I mean, we haven't found anything. I haven't seen any die chips. I haven't seen, of course, no silver, no W's. I haven't even seen anything really nice enough to keep. There's a Lowell, but it's a Philly. So, oh, Big Flip's here. There he is. Well, he was maybe 20 minutes ago in the chat. I miss the chat. You guys know how I do. I go on my rants and I'm staring at coins, so that's what I'm predominantly focused on. But yeah, it's weird though, because like people collect all kinds of stuff, and a lot of things can and are worth money to the right people. Sneakers, Pokemon cards, the market fell out for Beanie Babies, but you get the idea. Fine art, which a lot of people say that's like kind of like a tax scam thing. I don't know. But you can put your money into a whole bunch of places that's better than keeping it in physical currency. There's a bunch of places. It's an argument as to what's the best place to put your money, but it's easy to say that a lot of smart people realize that they don't want to keep their money in dollars more than they have to. We just prefer metals. They are nice. Like these, like, it's, again, it's not quite 10 ounces, and it's kind of a weird shape, long, skinny bar, but it's nice. Like, and the fact that I poured it, it's probably not the best thing. It's got some half-decent ripples on the top, but, like, it's just nice to hold, to look at. And I didn't polish these. I don't have like rock tumbler. I just kind of like I got all the sharp stuff off of them. I kind of polished them by hand with some polishing compound. I didn't go too crazy on them. I'm not really trying to impress anybody with them. They're just gonna start going in my stack. I'm gonna buy shot and pour it and stack it, and buy shot and pour it and stack it. I mean, at least then maybe it'll slow me down a little bit on acquisitions. Maybe. And I can, kind of focus on pouring, maybe even get into sand casting, try to do some fun stuff, maybe. But it's more just for me. And I don't know how expensive the actual Furnace is going to end up being, and the Crucibles and all that, but I'd like to think somewhere in there I save a couple of bucks, or at least I have more fun doing it. Man, this is it's getting to be a horrible quarter box. Hey, look who's here, Albie. Craig, good to see you. Albie's working hard. Did you say you make videos, Albie? I thought I saw that. Said something like you need to get back on making videos. I can't say that I've gone over to your channel because I didn't think that you made videos. I'll have to get over and check and see what you do have, and if not, it's about time you make one. I encourage everybody to try it because, like, the worst case scenario, I know you already make friends hanging out, but you kind of get a little more exposure. People watch you, and then they'll see you in a chat somewhere and kind of strike up conversations and, whatever. It just kind of adds, to the experience a bit. Not everybody wants to, and I get that, but a lot of people are surprised. They start a channel, and then, all of a sudden, some short time later, it's actually turned into something. Maybe even you get a few cents for it down the road. Who knows? Oh, there's a nice River of No Return. Could it be a W? Usually the nice ones aren't. I have yet to find like well, maybe I found one. But I have yet to find like a really nice W in circulation. And I try not to buy them. Number one, they're clad. Number two, I don't know. Maybe if it was raw and they weren't asking too much for it, but usually with the W's, people are asking, relatively fair market value, and I just don't want to pay for a whole bunch of clad. I bought some from Flip and other people. I will buy it. I got the presidential dollars and things. I will. But again, like the bills, I try to keep it to a minimum. Going overboard on stuff like that, it's not the direction I want to go. I want to stay more on the stacking side, and I lie to myself. And I say it's okay, to stack all these Benjis I have, and Walkers, and other commemorative halves and things because they're silver. So, killing two birds, one stone kind of idea. Although I pay more for those than I would for the equivalent amount of generic silver, somehow in my mind, I trick myself to thinking I'm still on the path. Okay, there's something with some really nice toning, but I think it's like a national park. Yeah, it's just a Kentucky. It's got that, again, the light's not playing nice with it, but it's got that kind of like gunmetal gray look, almost like metallic toning that's built up on it. Not nice enough to keep. These, I'm fairly certain these haven't been searched by the way that they're wrapped, but I would have thought we'd find something that I'd be willing to keep at this point. I had a collection, the OJ Murder. What did I miss? I'm sub now. Now I gotcha. 2019 W and 2020. Yeah, those are what I'm talking about, Craig. I like finding them, but I don't really like to pay for them. Maybe if there was like a graded 70, but again, I think some of those, depending on the quarter, can go up as high as like 60, 70 bucks. Like PCGS graded. So I don't mind having them, but I don't want to pay for them. And if the mint ever does something else like that, and as soon as I catch wind of it, I'm be hunting like a madman. I'm not going to miss the boat next time. I wasn't collecting the 2019-2020. I missed the train, but I will not miss the next one. And I will say, whatever this thing coming up is, I'm going to pronounce it wrong. I think it's like a Sesqua something centennial, maybe something like that. And it's the 250, if I'm right. Yeah, I think 250 anniversary. And so the Mint's already got like a committee. They're already planning. There's going to be special coins and who knows what else. But I'm hoping that there's something else cool like that. That they throw it into circulation. Some limited something, some more W's, something. Kind of, they almost need it. They gotta feed the numismatists a little bit and give them a bone every now and again. Not just because like those things tend to be actually worth some money. That Salt River or River of No Return at the end of the roll, that's all nice, was a P, of course. But yeah, they really do. They need to give back a little. The W's were nice. A nice touch to just kind of throw out in circulation. I think most of us have gotten all of them by now, but you know, those kind of things that keep people interested in the hobby, that they can pull a bank box and find something that's worth more than a quarter, that's not silver. Kind of cool. Yeah, Craig, see, he's I have some. I don't think I have a War in the Pacific. That's a 2019. I don't have a Marsh Billings. That's a 2020. I don't have the National Park Art, whatever that one is. Weir Farm, I think it's called. I don't have that one. I have San Antonio, Salt River, Tall Grass. I have most of. There's a couple I haven't found yet, but everything I have, I've found in coin roll hunting. I don't buy them. There's a Lowell. It's Philly. Huh. This is a slightly disappointing box so far. I'm going to have to go into speed mode. There's a San Antonio mission, but it's a Philly. Hey, it's been a minute. What am I doing? I'm sorry, guys. I got so excited about giving everything away last night. Let's give away a couple of grams. What do we got? We got the Morgan and Bison. That couple of grams. Nothing too fancy, but still really cool. Let me get this thing started. Is that the right button? No, that's not the right button. Is that the right button? Yes. Okay, give me just a second. I'll get this started. What is this? Oh, it's trying to sell me something. Stop it, Streamlabs. Cloudbot on. Oh, and I'm waiting for it. I gotta see how the pouring goes. But when I file things down, when I sand things down, it's gonna take me a while. But I might actually be able to get a real bag of silver dust. And if I do that, I promise I will give it away. Now where am I at here? There we go. Giveaways. Boom. Start the giveaway. Alright, so you see the directions. Enter for the giveaway. Let me get a bag. There's a bag. Put these up. Because the grams are nice to give away. I'll get through all of them. I think we got about... I think this was 100. So there's still a bunch in here. It'll take us a while. But I'm fairly certain you gotta I gotta still work it out, but pretty sure I'm gonna switch to gold backs just because they're gonna be easier to mail in an envelope, less likely to get stolen because they're harder to really detect if there's something in the package. Not that I've had a problem with my stuff getting to recipients, but you know, like when Siren or Roadhog were winning a lot, and that's fine. But when they were winning a lot, those packs, like a couple times, I think it spilled over into like actual mailings, which again I'm fine with. But if I can just do gold backs, I could put like 5 gold backs in an envelope with some paper around it. Nobody is gonna know the difference. So I might move to gold backs. I just gotta figure out that initial purchase, because I'll probably buy like 50 of them at a time. That way I save a few cents over the whole thing. And then, you know, because I mean, honestly, this is pretty close. $1 something I think I paid, maybe closer to $2. So like right there is $4. Gold back's like 4 something. Like, might as well, right? So we'll work on it, but we got to get through the grams first. For sure. And that's going to take a lot more boxes of coins. Wait, am I not? Hold on. What's going on here? Is nobody entering? There's 9 of you in here. Why do I not see anybody entered? I know it's just 2 grams, but come on. It's free silver. How do you turn down free silver? There's only 30 seconds left. What's going on? You type in what it says. Exclamation giveaway. Here. I'll have to open it back up in a few seconds. So you do exclamation giveaway space 5 to enter. And then, yeah, since you've been here and you've been hanging out, you should have the silver dust from hanging out to enter. And then you will be entered into the giveaway. Okay, I got Albie. I got Craig. You're in. The time's up. I'm going to resume entries. A couple other people want to get in on that. There's a really nice Nevada. Holy. What's the front look like? The front's so-so. But the back is just like perfect. Not, well, maybe a little scratch or something there, but that's gorgeous. But we're not going to keep it. One of these days soon, 1983, that's all beat up. Oh, river, but it's a P. One of these days, I forget what I was going to say. I lost my track with that Salt River. It'll come back to me. Oh, now I remember. Okay, nobody wants in on this? Nobody? Kendall? I don't see you in, Kendall. Why don't I see Kendall in? It's still open. Should be, because I opened it. Oh, you spaced it, Kendall. The exclamation point. You shouldn't space it. Get in there, because there's only 3 of you. Nobody else likes silver. Or they just don't like grams. I get it. They're not for everybody. But how else are you going to get them? Because nobody's going to buy them. They're not economical. It's one of the reasons why I chose them for giveaways, because not a lot of people buy them. I mean, maybe like the Valcambies and some of that, but these are a little more on the fun side. I put away that Merc Dime one. I'm sure there's more in there. But I put this one away last time when I saw it because I don't have one set back. Okay, now Kendall's in. All right, everybody else hates silver, so we're going to stop it. And then we will draw the buttons behind the camera. And it's Craig. So, Craig, if you hit in, it's probably going to, yeah, so it says you won. So if you hit in exclamation point email, it'll put my email in the chat, and you can just drop me your address, and I will send that out probably tomorrow. I don't see any reason why I can't. You and whoever else wins the next one. Seems like it's just going to be Albie and you and Kendall, but that's fine. Hating on people. Hating on the free silver. They're fun. I like them. And the other thing that was cool, when I first bought them, before I gave all the other ones away, I had about 250 grams Salt River, but it's a P. Man, this coin hunt sucks. What the fuck is going on? I haven't had a box this dry in a while. Usually there's something I want to keep. When I first got them all, it was about 250. Let me close this. It was about 250 grams. That's fun to play with in your hands. I think I kept them all. I don't think I dropped any or lost them. I may have lost one or two. Who knows? But it was really fun to kind of play with in your hands. It's a lot of little pieces of silver. Still makes a really nice sound, almost like those rain sticks. Sitting there playing with them. That was the first thing I did when I got them. I like to collect, and I respect that there's things you shouldn't touch. Right? I respect it. But I like to play with my silver. I like to touch it. I like to feel it. The coins I try to be more careful with, but bars, rounds, other things that don't really have any numismatic value, I like to mess with. I almost always have some kind of pocket piece, on me, whether it's a couple of rounds or something. I've been carrying this bar I poured. It didn't quite fill out properly on this side. I don't think I had it up to temp enough, because it was fine, and the ripples are very kind of muted, but that's also because I had to kind of buff the bar a bit. But if you look at the back side, you can kind of see those creases in here and some of the ripples as it was kind of flowing and cooling. So it was up to temperature. It was liquid. But you need to exceed the melt point by far, because by the time you pull it out of the furnace, you get you're quick, but by the time you get ready to pour, you've lost already some degrees and degrees and degrees. So you got to be well over that melt point, so that when you're pouring, it's still very hot, very liquid, and will hopefully fill out the mold. And so that's what I'm working on. You can see this. It's very thin. I really like it, but pouring a 1 ounce anything, hand pouring, it's got to be near impossible. Because this, I thought, was a tiny pour. I thought for sure it was maybe just over an ounce. It's 1.8. Tough to pour little things with your silver. This little loaf bar, it's a ingot mold, kind of a real small one, obviously, and it's 1.6. Oh, I got it upside down. It's 1.6, so it's a little bread loaf looking thing. It's really cool. I like it. It's a great little pocket piece, but again, I thought I didn't pour that much, and I poured 1.6. So small pours are very hard to do. I'm finding out. The big stuff is relatively easy. You just turn that furnace on max, let that thing go for a bit, and then just pour. You're pretty good on that because you have a lot of leadway. You have more metal in the crucible. It stays, it's going to stay warmer longer, and you have a bigger mold to fill, so you're not as worried about an exact pour. You're more worried about just getting it all in there. It's a process, and I'll learn. See what I can do with it. I don't know about all the antiquing and all the hammering and all that. I'm not really set up for a whole bunch of that. So we'll see what I can get into, but I'm going to try. I don't like doing what everybody else does. So I'll try to see if there's anything. Obviously, it's not going to be like groundbreaking, but anything like a little different that maybe I can bring to like something that's poured that like everybody doesn't do already, which will be difficult, but we'll see. So what's going on in the chat? Speg taught Chuck Norris how to blow bubbles with his beef jerky. Oh yeah. I missed most of the stream the other night. I came in late, but I did not see a Speg. And I don't even really know 100% like what happened with the whole deal. I think I got a general gist of it, and I was explaining this to my kids earlier because they looked at me. They know I've been doing YouTube for years now, and so they think it's really cool. And my son looked at me and he goes, "Dad, what's the worst part about being a YouTuber?" And, I'm not, but I am. So I said, the fact that everybody doesn't get along. I've seen it here. I've seen it over on my other channel, in the tool community, in the car community. It just does. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. There's always something that comes up, and people don't get along, or somebody lets their ego get the best of them, or whatever have you. And it's like, we're all here. We're all doing, relatively the same thing. There's only so many ways you can say something. I get it if somebody's blatantly, like, ripping off your stuff, like, verbatim, or whatever have you. Obviously, you have every reason to be, like, a little perturbed, but, like, other than that, we all just need to kind of get along. I mean, if you don't like something, then don't partake, but I never got... That's probably my biggest pet peeve with people in general, is like egos. Egos will like mess up groups, projects, work environments, like you name it. Egos get in the way. And I never really understood it. I get why people have them, but see now, okay. So, yeah. I don't know, boys, and maybe girl, if any ladies are in here. That one looks like it's been opened, for sure. That's... I don't know. It's been a very bad box. I don't know why somebody would take the effort to, like, fold all the edges back down or whatever. It's not impossible, though. Maybe I'm sorting through somebody else's stuff. You would think that they would mark it so that they don't get their own stuff back, but, I don't know. Who knows? We are almost through the second row, and we have yet to find a single thing that seems to be worthy of keeping. So maybe we do have a skunk box. I don't know. Salt River, but it's a P. 86 Shenandoah. Dirty Wisconsin, but no extra leaf. You know what else I haven't found yet? That I thought I probably would by now? Salt River, but it's a P. Leaky Bucket. What is that? What is that? That's Homestead, I think it's called. Quarter. I haven't found one. Like, not even a little one. I don't need, like, the best example, right? I'm not greedy, but I still haven't found a leaky bucket. there's a saying, the only thing bigger than someone's bank account is their ego. Sometimes you need a little humility to understand that you're not perfect. Yeah, and I mean, like I work in maintenance, and with technicians and tradespeople and things, and just the amount of times somebody can't admit that they're wrong, or that there's another maybe better way to do something, is just, I've seen it too much, and it's annoying as all get out. And a lot of times can slow things down, get in the way, cost money, whatever, you name it. Really shiny 74 effigy mounds. There you go. Look at the ugliest coin in the world. I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, everyone's pretty much unanimously agreed that's the most worthless coin in the world. Marsh Billings, but it's a P. And I get it, like they were trying, but there's a committee. This went through how many people? And they're like, oh yeah, that's it. That's a great coin. Proud to have it. Like, could have done better. If that's the good version, I wonder what the bad versions look like. Ew. I don't know, boys. Yeah, see, like, wait a minute. This was sealed. I cut it open at the beginning of the stream. This can't be, like, rewrapped. I opened it. So yeah, their machine just sucks. But I'm still super surprised that I'm not seeing anything in here yet. Be humble and gracious towards it. Yeah, like, guys that like want to hoard knowledge. I saw, well, it might have been a video, probably an audio podcast, but I saw a thing, and it was these, for lack of a better term, rich people talking on this podcast, and they were talking about like the types of people that you want to be around, or whatever. And the one guy said, I can tell pretty quick, like the kind of person, like whether or not I'm going to get along with them. And he goes, just like in the normal conversation, how everything's come up, if somebody's willing to share knowledge or experience, or they want to like tell you, like, oh, I don't know, I was successful, I did this thing, like, okay, like some people are just like, yeah, I did it, whatever, and blah blah blah. I don't really put much to it, kind of like keeping that story or that information to themselves. And then other people are like, oh yeah, no, yeah, that was really cool, I did that thing, this is exactly how I did it, I da 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 da, and then go into like, they're not withholding the information, they're giving you not only their story, probably because they're proud of their accomplishment, but also the information that if you wanted to maybe attempt that same thing, feat, whatever, they're not withholding, they're sharing. And he said that that's, especially I think they were talking more along the lines of like business and other things, that they could tell when somebody was that way, that would be somebody that they would want to get along with and, befriend, versus the people that hold all the information in, which makes a lot of sense. I've met those people. We got a weird looking something coming up. It's probably just dirty, but it looks like half beat up. Oh, wait a minute. That looks a little weird. I'm not saying it's silver, but just, it's got a tone. Nope, 74. Why? I don't know what's on it, but like it just had that kind of like almost like a lustery look. But yep, it's clad. I was hopeful there for a second. It's a bad box. Can't help it. I don't see anything. I should be closer on those, but I don't see anything too hateful. Yes, dog. The dog is staring at me. Constitutional would be happy. I'm going to ship her over to him one of these days in a crate, and he can pay the pet deposit at his place and keep her for like a month. Thomas, welcome in. Good to see you. Jimmy's here. If Jimmy's here, it's time to do a giveaway. It's kind of warm in here. I wonder what my AC set on. I might have turned it off earlier or turned it up. What do you want, dog? All right, we're going to take a break. Give away another 2 grams. What do we got this time? We got, oh, that's the back. Okay, another Morgan and Statue of Liberty. Okay, so I will get this started and I will let the dog out because she's bothering me. I'll be right back. Come on. Go, go, go. All right. Yeah, that's just... I mean, look at that. I mean, sloppy, sure, but... Needs some weird rolls. I want to do... I think I said I was going to do this, and I haven't yet, but I need to while I still have money. I want to do like a Facebook ad thing, you know, like in my area. You can pay to like put the ads up, and I want to do a Facebook ad that says like, I will buy your jar of change or something, you know, something. And I can do the graphics and like make like probably a half decent little Facebook ad or video or something. I can do that. But I want to see if I can wrestle like some of these coin jars out of people's hands. Because some of these older people have been like just throwing change in jars for time periods, and I'll be like, hey, I will just pay you for that. I'll try to figure it out, right? Like within reason, hopefully. Or if they want to go that route, I'll count it up and, you know, figure it out. But I bet there would be more to find in some of those jars than in some of these boxes. But it's just finding it. You know? I wouldn't care if it was all pennies. I bet that'd even be a good search. Definitely probably have a lot of copper. Probably a lot of wheats. There's a... Oh, are we done yet? No, we got 30 seconds. There's 4 of you in here. Craig, Thomas, Jimmy, and Albie. Kyra, your dog's outside. I can't remember if I checked these or not. There's a really nice looking... I mean, it's circulated, but it's really nice looking 85. Just minimal wear. Those are always the ones I'm on the fence about. I did catch those, there was like 1 or 2 Washingtons, I think in like maybe the last quarter hunt. Had like all the breast feathers, just really good shape. I did keep those. Try to keep things that probably shouldn't be in circulation. It's debatable for everyone. That's why you get a lot of like specialty collectors that only focus on a couple of things and become relative experts in those coins or whatever have you, because then they know everything there is to know about quarters or dimes or nickels or whatever. I like halves a lot. I don't know everything about them, but I do like them a lot. But the searches never go well for me. I barely find anything in halves, and I kind of quit asking for them because I got to special order them. It's a pain, and then obviously they don't want them back at that branch, so then you got to take them somewhere else. It just never goes well. I have yet to. There was that one customer dump, and it was like something weird, like a few 90s, and then some amount of 40s, something like that. It was almost like inverse numbers somehow, or something close to that. And there was that, but that was customer rule, and I think I just got lucky, obviously. But that was, it's like maybe 490s and like 840s or something like that. And I gave a couple away on the stream. I was excited, share the wealth kind of thing, which is fine. But that's the last time I can really think that I got like a bunch of silver in like an actual hunt. I'm not the guy. American Eagle Hoarder the other day was saying he got some kind of gigantic bank dump. Benji's, I think, Walker's, like hundreds of dollars of silver in a bunch of rolls. I can't remember if they were customer wrapped or what. I know it obviously got them from the bank, but I don't recall what the exact circumstance was. But yeah, tons of silver. I'm not that guy. I suspect there are too many coin collectors and whatever have you in Ohio. There's a lot of them. I know there's a lot everywhere, but it seems like there's a lot here. And I think they kind of suck the silver and the things dry. I don't think we get very lucky with customer dumps. Salt River, but it's a P. No W's, no die chips. I haven't even seen a whole bunch of die chips to look for. Well, there's a Duke Ellington. Oh yeah, we're done with time now. Haha. Okay. That's not it. Let's draw it. Sorry, I get distracted. Pick the winner. It's Albie. All right, Albie. You win this time. Why is my work... See? This is one of the reasons why I'm changing positions. Why is my work phone going off at 10:43 p.m.? Let's see the mess. Open request and confirm your understanding and request additional information. What is this? Huh, okay. 10:43 p.m. and I'm getting messages. All right. Oh, and I didn't write Craig's name on that one. I'll write it now. Forgot. My other Sharpie's like about dead. I need to pull another one out. Albie. Oh, jeez. See, and then somebody sends a message, and then people respond to a message, and now my phone will be beeping off and on for like the next 20 minutes. If people respond. If we're lucky, they will ignore the message until business hours. Okay. This is the last roll of row 2. It's a disappointing hunt. Well, we're only halfway through a box. But like usually, we have a couple of things we've decided to keep, or some die chips or something. This is abnormal. So, silver's up a little bit, but who's buying what? Who's got something to buy? Who's making a purchase? Who's pulling a trigger? I bought a $100 coin yesterday and gave it away. There's a really nice Pennsylvania. Try to speed round this stuff. Otherwise, I'm never going to get through this. And my daughter's going to get to stay up till 1 in the morning. And we can't have that. What time is it? Yeah, it's 11. We need to speed run this. Try to. There's a beautiful Marsh Billings, but it's a filly, of course. 89. Kisatchie. Tuskegee and a Salt River, but it's a filly. I'm still buying, yes, but what are you buying, Albie? Any specific purchases that you're trying to make? Are you looking more at bars? Are you still grabbing rounds? A lot of people are saying, like, Constitutional, it was the time to grab it before the price goes up even further. Because, like, if we really do get price action, and let's just say me and Constitutional are both wrong, and we end up somewhere in even maybe like the low 30s, and we theoretically stay there for some period of time. Can you imagine what Constitutional is going to be if spot price is that high? It's already hard to stomach. And I mean, I still buy it from time to time. It's hard not to. I love dimes. I love halves. There's a really nice Virginia. National Park Art. The Weir Farm, but it's a filly. Come on. But it's kind of hard to stomach the Constitutional sometimes when you can just pick up, a round. I know it's different. It's different. But you get more silver, Oh, what is that? We got a damaged coin here on the end. It looks like melted or beat up. At least we have something to look at. I bought some 925 sterling Australian shillings for $10 for coins. I don't know how big the exact coin is, but that doesn't sound that bad. And that's the other thing. The last couple of times I've been out, I have picked up world coins. Like the odd silver weight stuff. It's low premium. It's silver. You can argue it's not as liquid. You're not going to get as much for it if you sell, like, blah, 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 blah. But it's cheap silver. Okay, let's take a look at this damaged coin. Okay, so the edge is, like, beat up. Like, that's actually kind of sharp and bent from the back to the front. Somebody like melted it and hammered it, and it is a 2018 Pictured Rocks. I told you the phone was going to start going off. So that's a little beat up. Quite weird. Maybe it was in a fire. So decent 1997. What about the breast feathers? Let's get in on it. What about the breast feathers? Dun, dun, dun. They're missing. They're worn. Aha. Denver, Liberty. Denver, sorry. Bicentennial. Looking at the Liberty. I think that's where the doubling is on these. And now everybody is responding. Why are we all responding? Done. Yep. 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 Why am I in there? Did he send it to everybody? Yes, dog. Yes, dog. What? Do you want to go back outside? Okay, hold on. Don't worry, I'll put the dog outside. I call for my daughter, and she ignores me because she has the door shut and she's being social or something with one of her friends on the phone. So she ignores me. Pictured Rocks, Philly. Oh! Finally! Okay. Johnny, what are you talking about? Ah, Copper Owl, good to see you. You just came in at the perfect time because we actually found something. We're into the third row of the box, and gentlemen, it's a W. Let's see, it's a 2019. No, it's a 2020. It's got the V75. Okay, please be. Let's see. Hold on. What do I need? I need the Weir Farm. That should be 2020. And I need a Marsh Billings. That's a 2020. I think I have the other ones. What do we got? Oh, America Samoa. Okay, okay. I will take it. I will take it. We found something. Thank God. Okay, so it's not all for nothing. Uh-oh, Siren's here. Party's over. Everybody hide. Ooh, there's a decent looking 77. There's a D Bicentennial. I still don't know what I'm looking for on these, but I'm pretty sure it's that Liberty. I think there's doubling on it. So we just pass them up. Finally, a W. Thank goodness. It sucks when you go through a whole box and you don't find anything that you want to keep. Even if you just find one coin, that's something. You know what I mean? But to go through a whole box and not find anything, definitely not fun. It's still fun, but you get what I mean. You want to have something to show for it at the end of the day. Okay. That's right. We were going to try to speed run this a little bit. Siren, it's good to see you. There's a Weir Farm, but it's a Philly. Hawaii, not the nice one. I like the Volcano, Hawaii. Not so much the other one. The National Park one. Is it the National Park one? Or maybe I got it backwards. I like the Volcano one. And they're actually worth like a half decent amount. I think they're like a kind of low mintage. Alright, Albie. I will send that out to you. Congratulations and thank you for hanging out. We will catch you around, I am sure. Alright. Ooh, we got some dirty stuff in here. 65, 97, 94. Salt River, but it's a Philly. ITC Leaky. Oh, somebody's actually playing chat words. There you go. Salt River, but it's a Philly. Huh. Couple crossing the Delawares, no die chip. Cactus here, no real die chip. And that W's, it's not in great shape, but it's not in bad shape either. It's actually better than most of the ones I find. All the W's I find seem to be like borderline road coins. Like they're kind of beat up. That one's actually decent. River, but it's a Philly. Oh, Siren's checking on her silver dust. I was saying earlier, Siren, before you got here, that now that I'm pouring, and when I like deburr the silver and things, I am actually causing some silver dust to happen, and I am attempting to collect it. So eventually, at some point, I will actually be able to give away some form of a bag of silver dust. So I thought that was kind of fun and fitting. So we'll see how long that takes me. But it is on the plan. Eventually. I think I checked this. It's like I am just shy between all four of these pieces here. I am just shy of 20 ounces. So that was 10 ounces in rounds and 10 ounces of shot. And I still have probably the balance, if not a little more, out in the garage in like my scrap or whatever. So 20 ounces in pour so far. Another 10 on the way. We'll see what I can do there. I'm going to try to pour some smaller things. I lost a quarter. But we'll see. The small stuff's difficult. I'm going to try to work with the molds that I have. I did think about one thing. Now, it'll be different, but, so this is almost 10, right? So it'd be something like this. And then I'd have to calculate. But I thought about doing this a little over 10 and then cutting like chunks out of it like a bread loaf. Because they do that with like the Comex bars. I forget who does it. But you can like buy, I think it's like, maybe it's like 50 or 100 ounce. Something like that. It's like a sliver of a Comex bar that they then, weigh and re-stamp and all of that. And they look pretty cool. I'm not saying they don't have like some kind of premium on them, but it looks pretty cool because it's like a cross section of a bar. I thought about doing something like that, maybe, to try to get them to 1 ounce, but pouring exact stuff is gonna take some time to master. Now I see why, all these people that pour, it's, 2-3 ounces in a lot of cases, or they're like sand casting and then, like Keys in her charms. Like, I kind of get that now. I know most of it's like casting and then the finishing work and stuff, but like pouring small stuff is so hard. I'm sure even if it's sand casting, it's still difficult. And then you got to think about all the cleanup time. So it'll be interesting to see what I come up with. I'll try to shoot a video, like a real video, next time I do it. The last time I was so excited, all I could do was get like, I think a shot when I poured the actual big bar, the 10 ouncer. Ooh, it's a 2019. It's not a W. It's the American Memorial. But God, this thing looks almost perfect. There's like a chip on the cheek, like a gouge. That always happens. I see something that looks really good, and then I talk myself out of it. Oh, well. Siren rolled and won 165 silver dust. I gotta check that. Somebody remind me to check that. Like the gambling thing, before I do anything that allows anyone to cash in their silver dust for something physical. Whenever I figure that out, I thought about that. That would be a giant loophole, like the worst casino ever. We got something with a lot of toning, but I don't think it's silver. It looks like a national park coin. What's going on with Johnny? That's what I want to know. 82. 92. I am kind of glad that they've gotten better at the obverse on these quarters, because there for a while I was finding a lot of drooling Georges, and I kept a bunch of them, but I was finding so many there for a while I was throwing them back. Marsh Billings, but it's a filly. Did anybody buy their 2023 Morgans and Peace Dollars today? I know Nickel Stacking was asking around. I didn't. And I don't know why. It's probably cheaper. I'm sure you got to fight for it. But I never was one to like fight real hard to get something like that. I'll catch it on the secondary market sometime, maybe. I know I'll probably pay more, but it's okay. The toner was a Dirty Kentucky. 67, 87, 2022, 2017, Rogers Clark, American Samoa, but it's okay. We're getting there. Nope, boycotting those. I mean, I think I got an S from Big Flip. It's nice to see like a really pretty brand new Morgan. I know it's not a real Morgan, per se, but yeah, I mean, I got one. I paid, I don't know, 150 or something. Or no, it might have been part of that drop lot around Christmas time. I think it was. And so, who knows what I actually paid for it. But somewhere in the neighborhood of that, I'm sure. Because the drop lot was like 600, I think, altogether. And I had 3 other really nice Morgans in it. I think they were O's. And then that one, the 2021. Yeah, because they didn't make the 2022s. Yeah, it was a pretty good lot, but I did buy one for that. It's not something I'm going to, be jumping overjoyed for. If I find one and it's a decent price, I might pick it up. But I do. I, like most people, think, I hate to say it, but the mint's pretty much just a cash grab anymore to some degree. It seems like everything goes to the highest bidder or he who can mess with the website enough to get orders to go through. I know they've been trying to like make it better and things. I don't know how successful they've been, but just the horror stories and things that I've heard and like the letters in the back of Coin World where people complain about their experience with the mint just has kind of kept me away from it. I like to see like what's coming out, but I'm not really shopping. Maybe for a special occasion like the Navy medal coming up for my son who will enlist with them after graduating. Congratulations. Yeah, those things are always good, especially stuff like that. I know the Purple Heart was the colorized one, at least, was like super popular. Is the dog still outside? I think the dog's still outside. Haha, the child responds for a change. Alright. We found one W. It's worth it. Oh, what are you? See, and this is where I found some stuff like this before. I had a Washington like this, and everyone told me it's been in a fire, it's something, it's nothing. I'd like to believe that that's not nothing, but I don't know. What?
There's no cups.
There's no cups. Don't tell the internet that I don't feed you. Stop it. So I'm just going to toss it because everyone's told me it's nothing. There's no cups.
No cups.
None.
None.
What about the dish strainer?
Let me check.
Oh, let's check the place with the clean dishes. 4 dishes.
There's only 1 cup in the strainer.
Okay, there's 1 cup. That's all you need. What are you drinking? Sweet tea?
Milk.
Milk at 11 o'clock?
What?
You're lucky I'm counting coins.
Actually, I have sweet tea.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's probably still not the best thing for you, but I feel better about it than milk, I think, at this hour. Not a lot. You don't need some giant glass, child. We are farm, but it's a filly, of course, because the universe hates me. I can't win. River of no return, but it's a filly. Civet Cat? The Civet, is that the one that, isn't that the one that makes like the Kopi Luwak coffee beans by eating them and doing the rest of that? I think that's a Civet, if I'm not mistaken. Really Dirty 89. Edith 1996. Bessie Coleman. Shenandoah River. It's a P. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Yet another roll. Uneventful. We're almost through the 3rd row. It's not going our way. Bourbon is best. I think you locked the dog in the room. No. She was out back. Happy dog. She's always... there's a groundhog. I have like a gazebo thing. It's not nice. It sounds nicer than it is. It's a little on the old and rickety side, like the rest of this house. But there's a gazebo thing out there. And I thought last year somebody took care of my problem by killing it. But no. There's a groundhog that likes to live under the gazebo, apparently in the summertime. And the dog will crawl under there. And I've put stones and things and I've tried to limit access. But last year, I had to tear apart the decking boards and rescue my dog from underneath the gazebo because she was stuck. That eagle has breast feathers. How many breast feathers? They're there. They're a little worn right there in the center of the chest. You see, like you have to have the light over them to really see the definition right there. And then when you come up here, it kind of disappears. It's pretty close. It's just like a 95 Washington. Denver, Salt River Bay. But yeah, I'm not keen to save my dog from underneath the gazebo because if the groundhog is out from under there and she sees it go under there, she will follow it. She'll find a way. And I like being able to let her out and relatively not supervise her. There's a really nice Edith. I still can't. I'll figure it out. Kanaka Ole, I think. It's really pretty. I mean, it's a brand new coin, but I've always said I don't think you can find an MS-70 in a bankroll. I'm probably right about that. Yes, that's what happened to the quarter, just saying. Oh, were you talking about that one? The burnt one or whatever? Marsh Billings, but it's a P. Crossing the Delaware, no die chip. Yeah, I'm going to have to burn some coins. I keep saying that. One of these days, there's a Homestead. No leaky bucket. Although, I wonder if that's damage or a die chip. The top of the bucket there. Let's see if we can get any closer. What say you? That kind of looks like a die chip. It's hard to tell. See if we can come at it from an angle. I don't know, coin experts. Let's go to the big screen. I want to say it's a die chip because it almost looks like it's chipped right there at the rim around the bucket. That's a tough call. Usually, well, let's look at the bottom if we can. I hate this because I have to get so close it becomes hard to move the coin. I'm going to go out on a ledge and say that's a die chip. Check the windows too, says Johnny. I think the window's good. Window. Roof's good. It's not the classic leaky bucket. I still think it's a die chip because there's that big spot and that's where I'm iffy, but then if you look to the left of that, you can see the shadow from where something's raised. I genuinely think that's a die chip. We're gonna save it. I love how I start looking at it as if I'm going to be able to see something. Yeah, and there's a lot of fields right there. And I don't really see anything in the fields, like other scratches or wear. I think we found a form of a die chip on a leaky bucket. Still not quite the one that I'd like to have, but decent enough. Here's another one. There we go. We'll have a comparison. So, okay. Sharpen that up a bit. Okay, so yeah, there's definitely something going on that other one. For sure. Still might not be an actual die chip, but we'll save it just in case. 5 Philly. What's going on in the chat? An error is an error. Looks good. Thanks, Craig. Yeah, I've been chasing the leaky bucket. I do have something that don't ask me where it is, but I found a really big die chip on a river of no return. It was like where the water meets the rocks at the bottom of the boat, kind of that area, and it's big. It's a pretty big die chip, and I'm not saying like surface area big. I'm talking raised up off the coin big. It's a nice little bump on the coin. I was, relatively early into coins, and I looked right at it and said, okay, something's up with that. And I can't remember if I had the coin scope yet or not. I think I might have been using a magnifying glass at the time, but yeah, that one's really big. And I haven't seen a whole lot of other people, listing that die chip or anything similar online. So that one's probably a little more on the rare side. River, Salt River, yeah. All peas. 7 still watching. I appreciate it. Anyone that'll hang out in here deserves some medal. I am so bad at keeping up with the chat because I'm so hyper-focused on the coins. I do ramble with you guys. You guys listen to what I say or whatever I'm yammering on about. That's somewhat entertaining. Maybe one day I'll take these and... Okay, there's a 2019. It's really nice. War in the Pacific, but it's a Philly, of course. Maybe one day I'll take all these and pull the audio off of them and cut them into like a podcast. I don't know how. It would be the most random podcast ever, but there is a guy, okay, and I'm gonna tell you guys about this guy because most of you know, I've been traveling a lot for work the last couple of years. River, but it's a Philly, and it sucks, and some of them are long drives, and so I've become accustomed to listening to podcasts, but there's only so many. I do the Coin Show podcast. I do the Coin World podcast. There was another one I really liked, and then I discovered that it seems like they're not making new episodes. It was like Mercury Dimes and the Men Who Love Them. I know it's like a long title, but it was they had a good thing going, or at least it seemed like it, and then I think somewhere like the end of 2020 they just quit or something, so that was upsetting. But there's this guy, I think the podcast, I don't know if the YouTube channel is the same, but the podcast is called Silver Stack Jack, and it's pretty simple, and it's just a guy. Some are longer, some are shorter, and it's just him talking about coins or whatever, silver, investing, coins, that kind of thing. And it seemed pretty cool. Guy's got a decent voice. Like, they're not long, like super long, and it's just him. So it's kind of a one-sided conversation like this. But like I started listening to his stuff. Then on one of them, he said something about YouTube, and I was like, oh, okay. I wonder if this dude's on YouTube, and he is. But he just like occasionally puts out a video. It's just him on YouTube sitting in front of the camera talking. I haven't yet figured out if there's a correlation between the YouTube videos and the actual podcast. You know, if one is derived from the other or vice versa. But like, he doesn't have a lot of subscribers. I've subscribed to him. I don't know how the podcast is doing, obviously, because you don't see the numbers on that. But it's not horrible. I mean, all of us could do better. The fact that anyone watches me, I think, is amazing. But you get what I'm saying. It's Silver Stack Jack. I think I got that right. Let me make sure. Yeah. So it's Silver Stack Jack. He's currently at 57 subscribers. Again, like, I'm not going to say he's not trying, but he seems like very, like, relaxed, low effort. I don't see him around in any of the chats, in any of the live streams. So, you know, I don't know what exact involvement he's intending to have with the community or whatnot. Obviously, he wanted to start a channel, but I listen to him. That's one of the podcasts that I listen to when I get time. And it's no worse than any of the rest of us, I don't think. So I just thought it was weird that, like, I found the one and then threw the other. And he's there and he puts out stuff every now and again, you know, just like any of us. But he just doesn't seem to be... seems to be very relaxed and not, like, really trying too crazy hard, right? I don't mean that as an insult, but you get what I'm saying. It's a very relaxed channel, and I don't know how long he's been at it, but he seems to have been consistent, and he started a podcast at the same time, so that's got to say something. I thought about starting a podcast with Constitutional, but we could never figure out when both of us have time to sit down, like, each week or every other week and try to record something for an hour or more, you know? I need a drink. I'm still drinking Monster. This is probably a bad idea. It's almost gone, though. It's a bad idea. Siren's still trying to gamble her way into some silver dust. She's trying to take all my silver, guys. Salt River, but it's a Philly. Massachusetts. One of these days. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say earlier. I bought all these coin rolls from Flip. There's a decent 78. It's worn, but it's a decent 78. I bought all these coin roll tube things from Flip for quarters, and they're not all gonna fit, but I have a bunch of these state quarters everywhere, more than a box that I've gotten, and so at some point I'm going to open those up and go through them and get them, like, at least some of the better ones, put into actual tubes, because right now they're just in paper rolls. And it's probably not bad, but not the greatest thing for them. I'd rather them not, like, tone up like crazy, or, well, you know, I don't know. I don't want them to tone ugly, I guess I should say, because there was something. Where was I? Was it yesterday? Something at a coin shop. The last couple of days, I was gonna buy. It just had to like You know, they say buy the coin, not the slab, and it was just like toned up, ugly as sin. Like, just looked like garbage. At that point, I mean, I hate to say it, I know they're like, oh, the toning, you know, doesn't really affect the grade of the coin or the surface, and that's true, but if it's got ugly toning on it, I don't care what the grade is. Like, if I don't want to look at it, or it doesn't look appealing to the eye, I don't want it. As a matter of fact, I bought some stuff while I was down with See Happy Chappy at the coin shop, and forget what they were. They were like rounds or something. I think they were just like rounds. I think they were the GSM prospectors, and they had some, but they were toned up all ugly. And I had commented on that, and they're like, oh, well, like, do you want us to dip them real quick? They're just rounds, you know. They're not really, you know, numismatic. Can't get them graded. I don't think, anyways. Or if you do, you probably get graded as like a token or something. But anyhow, I was like, yeah, like if you can dip them, please. And they dipped them, and it took every bit of that off. They looked gorgeous again. Now I know we're talking about bullion, but that's just one example. Like some things, occasionally it's all right, but like I'm pretty sure most of you know what I mean. Like there was saw a graded Benji at a coin shop, and they wanted like 200 something for it. It's like I don't know, like a 66 or 67. Full bell lines or whatever. Like, I mean, the thing's pretty loaded, but it just had this ugly leopard spot, like toning. It looked like somebody shook pepper all over the coin, like just all over it. You couldn't see any of the detail of the coin, of this supposedly beautiful coin, through all this toning. And I'm looking right at this thing, and I love Benjis. And I was like, I would never pay what they're asking for that coin. As a matter of fact, I probably wouldn't even pay a half decent price for that coin. Decent looking 96. Just because, like, it's so ugly. Arizona, no die chip. And that's what gets me a lot, is there's good toning, there's nice toning, there's probably some fake toning out there, but it can make or break a coin. It really can. Or a round, for that matter. Some of the stuff that sits in these, I know pretty much everything up here, and it's upsetting. It's super upsetting. Has been whizzed. Polished, whatever you want to call it. But I have a plan, okay? I have an idea. I've thought about this. These things go for, depending on the coins, you know, some money. The quarter one, obviously there's a lot of silver there. This typeset one, I bought this at Christo's Coins in South Bend, Indiana. Good little shop. Actually was just in there the other day. And picked up this. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen it. It's the 2015 5-piece Canadian proof set with the colorized red maple leaf. They're all graded proof 70 by Anax, and they're like certified first release. We all know about that kind of stuff, but I picked this up from Christos, which the awesome thing is, the last time I was there, which has been some time, this was there, and he still had it. He said everyone is obviously trying to break up the set. They're trying to get that colorized one, and he said, you know, I had him there. I was buying other stuff too, and he said, you know, if you give me X amount of dollars, you take the whole set. I'm tired of people asking me to break it up, so I actually got it. And the cool thing was, it was just the coins, the slabs in the case. And I looked at him, and I was like, yeah, go ahead, grab them, da da da. I said, wait a minute. Because I'd been there before, I'd seen it before. I was like, wait a minute, you still got the wood box for it? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And he went looking in the back and stuff, and he came out with a couple. He's like, I don't remember which one it was, and sure enough, he still had it. So I got that for, a good deal for retail. I didn't, get some smoking deal. I'm sure I still paid. I'm sure he still made money and all of those things, but I did pick that up amongst other things. But that's where I got this one. I convinced him to sell that to me. He didn't want to. It wasn't really for sale. But it was in my acquisition phase of wall art. And I got him to sell me that. But, yeah, they're all whizzed. And I have this idea. I don't know about these ones, because it'll be hard. But I want to do wall art like this with coins that aren't ruined. Like nice coins, I don't know. Merc dimes, Benjis, and actually put BU coins in it. Or, obviously with Indian heads, that's going to be really hard. You know what I mean? So, try to get the best examples, ones that aren't technically, for the most part destroyed. And whizzed or polished or whatever. Because, these Merc dimes, it's come off the wall. How do you... Jesus. Okay, now I'm going to knock everything off the wall. So I'll show you these. And I like them. I'm not upset with my purchase or anything. I'm not being like that. Come on, Washington. There you go. Okay. So, with these, you see them, they have a lot of toning, but then if you look at all the shine, they're fucking polished. They shine like proofs, and they shouldn't. Granted, they have good toning, and they're all in, sadly, pretty decent shape. And they've probably been in here for a really long time. I don't know what the backs look like, obviously. But they've been whizzed. They're, for all intents and purposes, just silver coins. So that's the upsetting part. It's you want wall art, but... not specifically, because I haven't figured out how I want to do it. Because I don't want to fill one of these. I want to kind of make my own. So I got to figure it out. What frame or setting I want to put them in. Then I got to figure out what coins I want to do first. Hopefully something that's not going to cost me too crazy much. BU Merc dimes. But the only problem with the BU Merc dimes is, what is that, 89. You're gonna catch a lot of the 40s and stuff. You're not gonna catch a lot of the early stuff, which is it's understandable. But yeah, I'm not in the market at the moment, and honestly, if I looked around in my collection, I probably have enough to do one with something already just sitting around. But you get the idea. I want to do the wall art where it's not actually ruined, but the Merc dimes, what I was showing you, is all that toning. The cardboard tones these things. Now, it still takes time, but it can tone them really brilliantly. It can also tone them really ugly. The Morgan in here, it's all real dark on the southern side of the coin. The Peace Dollar next to it's not as bad. It's kind of getting a dark halo, but the Morgan it's kind of like a crescent moon, and it's just really dark, like smoky colored toning. Not as pretty, but like when you get that nice ring, like a halo ring, if you get really lucky, catch it early, you can get it when it's like still kind of blue. That kind of stuff. So I don't know. I want to do wall art that's not already junk, if that makes sense. So I'll get there. And Craig, if I do need something, you're already going to have to email me your address. I'll have your email, and then I'll keep in touch. And if I am looking, I'll let you know if there's something that I need to find. But yeah, it'd just be better. And honestly, I've seen a couple things recently that are like kind of like shadow boxes. They're like a frame. They'll have like LED lights and stuff in them. It's for like accent lighting for whatever you then put in it. Like sometimes they do jerseys and things like that. But I feel like something like this in a shadow box with LED lighting and good like BU or whatever AU coins could be pretty cool and pretty nice, and actually something that people would want to hang on their wall. I just haven't figured out how to exactly do it yet. I know I have the services mapped out for like the printing, the inserts, and for the coins to sit in. I have to figure out the art, because like some stuff's public domain, some stuff's copyright. You got to figure all that out. But kind of update the whole thing a bit, because they're cool, but they're dated, right? They look like something that was on your granddad's wall and not something that really should be on yours. I mean, we still like them because we like coins, but somebody else looks at it and they're like, why? And then if they find out that the coins in them are not even actually nice anymore because they've been tampered with, then they're just like, okay, then definitely why? Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So we'll see. I got a million ideas and no time to do any of them. Hopefully with this switch of positions at work, it will almost definitely, it'll free up some time. So with having like a set schedule, I might even be able to actually like plan live streams, God forbid, and have one set night where I sit here and barely find anything in quarters for 3 hours. Sounds fun, right? Speaking of fun, that's a really nice Michigan. It's a Denver, but it's in good shape. 85 Arizona. What about the cactus? No diet chip. Speaking of which, it's been a minute. You guys are suffering through this with me. I appreciate it. Let's do another 2 grams. That's the least I can do. We got on this one another Morgan. Man, we got a lot of these. So it's another Morgan and a seeded looking Liberty thing. Again, little 1 gram rounds, not coins. But we will get over here. It's not easy, but it's simple. Use giveaway exclamation giveaway space 5 to enter. That's not it, Siren. You're getting your channels mixed up. I'm offended. Man. Worst box this week. There's another Homestead. Nothing. For sure, nothing. You know what I want to start finding? And I don't think we will a whole lot. But what I want to start finding is some of those damn 3/9 silvers. That'd be nice. I mean, 90% still fine. Don't get me wrong. But eventually, someone's going to start finding the 3/9 in circulation like we find 90% now. It probably won't be near as common, but I'm sure it'll happen. More spillings, but it's a P. Crossing the Delaware, no die chip. There was a period of time with those crossing the Delawares. Now, I never really found a big one, right? But I found a bunch of the small ones. I have a bunch of them. I have bags over there full of die chips. But it was a time where I was pulling like 15, 20 of those out of a box. I was kind of getting sort of tired of it. And now I don't find them almost at all anymore. So, I guess get the getting while the getting's good. Captain Vic! Henry! Uh-oh. Yeah, Henry. It's good to see you. Captain Vic. Yeah. Oh, and see, now we got some people in this giveaway. Alright, so 2 grams like usual. Sometimes we do 3, but, you know. This is the 3rd giveaway of the night. We've only found 1 W. I don't know when everybody got here. I know Jimmy's been here. I know a couple of the others. You know how I am with the chat. It's enough for me to look at the camera every now and again, let alone the chat. What is that? Okay. Some beat up coins. Really nice Philly, New Jersey. Crossing the Delaware. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we start finding 3 9s silver coins. Somebody's bound to drop some back into circulation. Alright, we are up on time. And it's Jimmy. Okay, let me grab a bag. Jimmy. He's very lucky. And I know some of you. See, that's funny. This one says Johnny T. already. Since I reuse everything a million times. Scratch that. Yeah, some of you have to have quite a few. I know Siren should have a nice stack, Roadhog 2, of silver grams by now. I think the most I sent Siren, or maybe it was Roadhog. It was one of the two, but one of them, I think it was like 9, 10, something like that. As the giveaways built up. Yes, of course, Jimmy. You're very lucky, as always. Your name, nickname, precedes you. And I was saying earlier, I'm gonna see about switching to the gold backs. I have a theory and a system. It should work as long as I buy enough of them at once. And you know what's funny? I was looking, because, you know, obviously shopping around trying to find a good price on gold backs. Now, we're not going to be picky, right? I think it'll be like Utah or Wyoming or whatever, whoever had. Oh, that D looked like a W there for a minute. It was a Marsh Billings. I was about to be really happy. I was looking around at everybody's prices on them. They're not bad, but Hero Bullion seems to have like the best price on the gold backs. Now, I'm not going to say they have like quite the selection that some of the other ones do, but all of the other ones want like $5-6 for them. And if I buy enough of them at once on Hero, I think I get it down to, well, you know, obviously the prices move, but if I remember right, it's like low fours, like 420 for a gold back. Let me see. I'm looking now. Okay, Utah gold back. Yeah, if I buy, and I'll show you. Oh man, we're still on the big one. I'm sorry, I got everything all screwed up for you guys. Somebody's got to yell at me in the chat. It's not that's what I need. I need something like where you guys tag me and it like buzzes or smacks me or something to get my attention. I apologize. Worst streamer ever. But we will go to the display screen. I will grab this and bring it over. What happened? What is going on? Why is it not coming there? Okay, you should see this now. If I buy 50, right, gold backs, I get it down to, and pay obviously with check wire, I get it down to 413 per gold back. It's not bad. And for like the giveaways, you know, like I said, the 2 grams is basically about, I know it sounds crappy, but that's basically about $4, give or take. So, you know, what would you rather have? Okay, we're going to do this correctly. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to actually switch it back. Look at that. I did a thing. Amazing. You're like, what, you know, that just sounds better to me. Like, which would you rather have? A couple grams of silver. Granted, they're pretty cool designs and stuff. Or a gold back. Gold backs are kind of the same. People don't buy them a whole lot because of the premium, right? So, I mean, we do. I have them. You have them. A lot of people have them. But the premiums can keep them kind of prohibitive to really purchase unless you're buying a lot of them. And even if you are buying a lot of them, it's expensive. Oh, James Gype. Well, that's funny. He must be watching a video. Well, thank you, James. But you get the point. So, I think sometime in the future, the next round, once we get through all of these grams, will probably be gold backs. And then, when I inevitably hit the milestone or whatever for the memberships and super chats and all that fun stuff, I am gonna set up a thing. I talked to Constitutional about it. He kind of mentioned it in one of his live streams the other day. I'll find some way to do something, you know, custom and different. But basically, what I'm gonna set up on my memberships is like, it'll probably be like monthly or something, but monthly I will give away X amount of something to the members, like a, you know, a special drawing to everyone that's a member. And that way, you know, not only like do you get the benefit of like supporting me if you would so choose, but you know, you have hopefully pretty good odds of getting something back in return for that every now and again. So, gold backs would be a good one, or, you know, some other kind of thing. We'll see what it ends up being. But, just kind of a way to America Samoa, but it's a P to, you know, continue to give back. Really nice 98. A lot of these 2023s creeping in. I still don't know how I feel about them. There's not enough really going on with them right now. It's like the Sally Rides, like they came out. There were maybe a couple issues with them here or there, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of errors or anything so far. The Bessie Colemans have some die chips, but I think even that's died down a little bit, it seems. I've never found one that was substantial yet. Anyway. Come on. What's happening? Goldbacks, yeah, would be easier to mail. That's part of the idea. And less likely to get discovered in the mail. Which seems to have kind of been a problem there for a minute. I don't know what happened with Flip, but I know he said sometime in the recent past, I know he changed up some of his mailing system and responsibilities and whatever there, because somewhere, somehow, he got hit for, like, I don't know, a package disappeared or something. I don't know the details. But basically, he took a loss on something pretty substantial. Now, I know I can say it wasn't me, thankfully, because some of my packs from him have historically been quite large. So that's good for me, sad for somebody else, and definitely sad for him. But, yeah, something there happened. So, with the packages, yeah, but even the envelopes and trying to do, like, the risky ship or whatever they call it, it can be a little tough. And even on something like a giveaway, yeah, I know it's not much. And most people would not, if they're 2 grams or whatever disappeared in the mail, probably would not make or break your day. But, still, if we're doing this whole thing, you want to make sure it gets there. I think the gold backs would be easier to mail, harder to detect, and thus a lot more likely to actually make it to the destination. This box, man, we are more than halfway. We have 1 W and what we think is a die chip on a leaky bucket. Not the leaky, more like the overflowing bucket or something of that nature. And even that's a little iffy with a microscope. So we're keeping it, but you never know. We'll find out 5 years from now. This weekend, I'm going to a coin show. Not really because I want to, but because I have to return my Stone Mountain. I'm meeting the dealer there. He's going because he's already, setting up a booth or whatever. And I'm going to meet him and give that back and see how we figure out that whole thing. But I have to go to that. I don't know. We'll see what I see there. I don't want to spend the money, but I need a raw 1916D. And when I was up at Christos Coins in South Bend the other day, he had a Merc book, a complete Merc book with the 1916D. He didn't want to break it up, and he wanted $2,200 for the whole set. And they had been in this book. It was the old blue book, kind of like mine. Yeah, I think a lot like mine. And is that a P? Yeah. And I gotta look at this. Kyra.
Yeah?
Do you know where my coins are?
What coins?
Coins. There's coins everywhere. Go see if you can find my blue dime book. Because I want to see something. Because his blue dime book had the 42 over 41. And I don't know if my dime book has that. And he had one sitting there, a really nice one. And he wanted $600 for it. So I opted not to do that. And I asked him if he had another one, 42 over 41. Because I didn't think I had one. And he said, yeah, but it's in this Merc book. And that's where he pulled out the Merc book, and we started talking about that. The 16D in there was nice. Decent. The D was there, full. No real disputing whether or not it was real, but $2,200 for something I kind of already have And I didn't like the toning on it. I like my set better. It was some. They had been in there a long time. They had really ugly toning. San Antonio Missions, but it's a P. Salt River, but it's a P. So that's why I'm trying to see if she wants to go grab that book, if she can find it, and see if it's got the 42/41 in my book. Because I don't know if it does. His book had a spot for it. I can't remember whether or not mine does or not. It's been a while since I've actually pulled the book out and looked at it. All right, Craig, you sent an email. I appreciate it. Very hard to come by. Well, they're hard to come by. I got one. It's just graded. Where is it? Nope. Is it in here? It's not in a bag. It's NGC, if I remember right. Yeah. Dog hair. So, I got one. It's an AG3. Did you find it?
No.
Do you know where you're looking?
I looked in your silver drawer, in the bedroom, and in your safe, and in the coin drawer.
Okay, it's near the safe. Grab a flashlight. Giving away all my secrets, kid. Now I gotta move everything. So, I do have one. It's just graded. And I got it because I wanted it. There's the D there, you can see. And, it completed the set. But now, I'm upset because it's not in the book. It's great. I got one. Yay. But it's not in the book. Every time I look in the book, I see the hole. And so, yeah, I mean, I have a full set, but I don't count it. So I want a raw one, which will cost me less, but, I want it in the book. And then I guess I'll still keep this one. Obviously, it's like last I checked, I think it's about $1,000 coin and an AG3. But it's nice to have a nice one, but I really do want that spot filled in the book. So, I gotta find a raw one. When I was at the Chillicothe coin show, they had not a bunch of them, but like between all the dealers, I think I saw about 4 raw 16Ds, but I wasn't there to purchase that at the time. And so I didn't have the money to drop on one at that show because I was buying other stuff. So we'll see. I'll eventually find one. Child, what are you doing? There's a flashlight in the room.
What?
The big one.
Oh.
I swear, this new generation, I'm trying to raise them right. Yeah, you're gonna hear it. It's child.
I don't see the flashlight.
Is it on the dresser?
No.
Was your brother playing with it?
Probably.
Here, then, take one of my YouTube lights. It's a blue book. 12 hours later. Wow. Somebody's frisky for midnight. You should be in bed. What are you doing? Who's your father? He's a bad dad. Samoa, but it's a Philly. So, I don't even know what to expect. Does it say dimes?
Mercury.
Mercury dimes. Yes, thank you.
Here's your YouTube light back.
Okay, so let's see if indeed I do have the 42 over 41. We'll finish these out. I know I'm ignoring the chat. I appreciate you all. Everybody else is pretty much used to it by now. I really do. I need to see if I can figure out a thing that'll like honk at me when somebody tags me to get my attention. And then all hell will break loose, I'm sure. People will be abusing it. Yeah, nothing. Got a giant pile of quarters next to me and 2 fines. Child, you should probably begin to get ready for bed. The book's fallen apart. Okay, this might be why. Now that I remember and I look where they've done the old, like, I forget what these kind of, like the press labels, these plastic things. That's probably why I don't have the 41 or 42 over 41, because they didn't put it in here. So we have, well, we can check though. Do I don't know where my magnifying glass is, but yeah, I don't see it. That one looks suspect, but I still won't see it. So yeah, I don't have one. So I gotta get one to finish out the actual set. I think that's it. There might be another 1 or 2 oddities, but I like my Merkdime set way better than the one that he was offering. And I don't think I paid near that much for this. I think maybe, I don't know. I'd have to look it up. 6. I think 6. I don't even think I paid 6 for it. We can find out. Dun, 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 dun. Because it didn't have the 16D. It's basically the same thing that it sits as now. So, okay, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. What's this? Okay, yeah. So I can tell you that for that book, I paid $3.50 for that book. And the dimes, I'm not going to say the wear is equivalent to the other book that I saw, but the toning and the coins look better, because the other ones, they were like this, where they've been like overtoned from the book or not being kept right, and they're like dark and ugly, like where they're hiding the surface of the coins. That's kind of what it was. And he wanted 2,200. So all in all, my set cost me 12 something, maybe, somewhere in there, with the graded. But then we'll get a raw one and put it in there eventually. I don't think we're gonna make it, guys. I don't think we're gonna make it through this box. I think we're gonna get really close to get frustrated and quit. Nothing in it, like nothing. 1 W. Marsh Billings, but it's a P. Can't win. Literally can't win. I also don't have a Delaware Spitting Horse. See, like, what? What happened? Who hurt you? It's Illinois. It's like red. Like red wine? I don't know. I have collected Mercuries and Barbers most of my life. I gotta buy the book and start archiving. I have a bunch of Barbers. I'm trying not to though, because okay. So here's my thing. This is another reason why I started getting upset at pennies and stuff, and then I just learned that there is always a key date and semi-key dates and so on and so forth. So as much as I like collecting coins, it's a pain in the ass because there's always something that you're just gonna have a hard time finding, and then when you do find it, you're gonna have to pay a lot of money for, comparatively, like, you know, the 1909 SVDB. Even beat up and abused one of those is worth hundreds of dollars. You know, even like probably the crappiest one, as long as it's genuine, it's still worth a lot. Just like that 16D. I mean, that's $1,000 coin. It's AG3. I mean, it doesn't get much lower than that. I think like an AG1, I don't even know if you could grade a 16D at AG1, because then I don't think you could see the D, theoretically. It's probably not impossible. Let's find out. Because we got nothing better to do. We're not going to make it through all these coins. Kyra.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. I appreciate it. I'll fend for myself. What are you doing? And by the way, child who is young, what are you doing over there?
I want to get water, but there's no cups.
Where is your teacup?
By the sink.
By the sink. Rinse out your teacup and put water in it. You just used it. It's not like it's a milk cup. See, that's why we don't have any cups. Everything's single use. Use it once and throw it away, or set it by the dishes for me to do. You can make your own albums without key dates, or do what I do and make a specifier with... Well, yeah, but like, I just, you know, you don't want holes. You want a complete collection, just like the nickels. I got a box over there, by the way. We'll try to... Maybe we'll get lucky, and I'll find some time this weekend. It depends. We got the kids, so we'll see. That's a D. North Dakota. But I don't like the holes. Why is my phone going off at midnight? Dear God. But yeah, you could do that. You can make your own books and your own runs. Like, I like the pennies, and I try, but
He likes pennies.
oh my God, child, you're not a part of my stream.
Oh well.
Can you please brush your teeth, child? Kids are gonna be the death of me. What was I saying? Oh yeah, making your own books. Yeah, you can. The pennies, the wheat pennies. I don't think I have a book, and that's probably why. So I'm like the 1909 SVDB. Okay, so hold on. The first thing we're gonna check is the Merc time. Okay. 16D. So yeah, this is what he did. He looked up a complete set with mint mark And I'm guessing he did the one with like major varieties, which I don't know what all of them are, but he at least had that one. Is showing in a low grade at like 2,600. So he really was offering me like probably a decent deal. I just didn't like the coins. Now mine, complete set, date, mint mark, assuming my 16D is graded, is just under like $2,000, and I paid like 14 for mine or whatever. So I don't know where it would fall in the grading scale because they kind of vary, but you get the gist. 16D in the lowest, we're looking for a populated grade. Okay, so there are AG1s that are 1916Ds. There's a population of 9 PCGS graded, and they are worth, I mean, some of these are old, but like the newest one is a 2019, which probably it's still maybe a little more than that. Is it like 480? And in like 2010, 2012, they were going for about 350. So yeah, you can get an AG1. And mine's AG3. It's saying it's worth about 925. That's PCGS. Mine's NGC. And it looks like maybe they actually have come down a little bit, because it looks like you can get graded ones. Some of these that have gone to auction are a little less than market value. So yeah, but I mean it's a real steep on those. I mean, by the time you get to like a 10, you're in the $2,000 range. So so what was the other thing we were gonna look up? It was the SVDB. Pennies. Where's pennies? Pennies. Wheat. Come on. Wheat. 1909 SVDB. Okay. So 1909 SVDB. This is the regular strike in brown that we're, I think, going for. Again, why is my phone going off? Come on, there we go, it loaded up. So, we're going all the way to the low grades just because. Okay, so there's no ones, there's no twos in the SVDBs, at least graded. There's a AG3, there's a population of 3, and those are worth about $650 retail. There's no auction records for what they've sold for, so nobody's probably sold those. A 4, there's 41, and they're about $700, like high 5s, mid 6s, all the way up to 700. Just depends on how recent and when. So $700 penny in an AG4. And then, of course, again, just like we already said, it gets crazy from there. By the time you're at a 10, you're just under 1,000. 30, you're at like almost 13, 1,400. And it just goes up from there. Like, by the time you get to anything close to like mint state, you're talking 2,000 plus. And then the big boys all the way up at the top are like 10 grand ish for a penny. And there's only one 67 and that's got a retail of 25,000. That's nuts for a penny. Anyhow, I digress. We are down. I got one more roll in me. We'll do this. And that leaves me one row of rolls to cry over tomorrow when I don't find anything else in them. Maybe I'll sort through them. Sioux City by 7 a.m. I am going to Tampa in a couple of weeks. And I'm going to go down to some coin shop somewhere. And then I might get to go to Utah in a month or two or something. And if I do that, then I am for sure going to run down to Vegas. America Samoa, but it's a P. Run down to Vegas just for the fun of it. See if maybe there's... Ooh, if I run down to Vegas, I could actually go in the old gold and silver pawn shop thing. That'd be cool. I'm sure they have some overpriced coins they'd sell me. Tall grass, but it's a P. River, but it's P. Tall grass, but it's a P. You see how this goes? Well, we found one W. Okay, it's not a completely wasted box. It's a really crappy box, but it's not completely wasted. No silver. No proofs. So yeah, like I'm from now on when I travel, because I'll travel a lot less. These are basically to officially get me up to speed with my new position. These are just trainings and seminars and conferences, but once I really get settled, I won't be traveling near as much for work, at least. So when I do go out here, I'm going to hit coin shops up everywhere I can while I can. Crossing the Delaware, no die chip, and Wilma Mankiller, nothing. Alright, well, there's one roll. Oh no, we must have broke into it, because there's only 9 rolls. Okay, well, we broke into it. Oops. But the only thing we found, that die chip, we think, on the Homestead, and this W America Samoa. I'm pretty sure I already have that one. I don't know for sure, but we'll figure it out. It's kind of hard because I have coins everywhere. I would have put it in a flip, and I would have put it with my other quarters. But I have a lot of quarters. So, we'll see. I'll see if I can track that down. Sometimes it's hard. I almost need like a whole room for just coins. And even then, I wonder what that room would look like. It probably wouldn't be a mess. I could organize it, but there'd be coins everywhere on every shelf. Alright, so the 3 winners, Jimmy Lacari, Craig, and Albie. Craig already sent me his email. I already got Jimmy's, of course, because Jimmy wins a lot of stuff over here. And Albie's I should already have as well, I think. If not, Albie, send it to me. But I'm almost certain I already have it. So I will get those out tomorrow. I gotta buy stamps. I think I'm down to like 1 stamp. So I'll have to get stamps at the post office and send those out. And yeah. We'll see if I can get time to do another coin roll hunt this weekend. If not, I'm going to shoot a couple videos tomorrow, like quick and dirty. But there's been a lot of stuff going on with the BRICS and the gold-backed currency coming and the movement in silver and other things that I've put off videos for one reason or another. I've had a lot going on, but I need to get some together and get some out. So I will jump on the bandwagon with everybody else and tell you my thoughts and predictions and what I think we can do in the interim to stack wisely. That being said, I appreciate everyone for hanging out for hours on end. We've been on here for 3.5 from start to finish. So, where do the children go when they travel? They usually stay here with my son's mother. Will watch the kids and the house. My house is never vacant, so that's always good. Very safe. But yeah, they'll stay with her, and she usually watches them when I have to travel. It's an unfortunate byproduct, but like I said, the travel should mostly come to a close with this new position, and I'll be at home a lot more, and that'll be good for a multitude of reasons. Them predominantly, being able to spend more time with them. So. Anyhow, I appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you very much for putting up with me and the horrible box of coins. And hopefully the nickel box that I have will do better. So I will see you guys soon. Big Flips auction tomorrow night should be on. And then, of course, all of the trade days, all weekend long. Don't forget to try to catch Ringmaster Ray's Saturday night trade night day thing. Should be his second week. Very interested to get in there and see what's going on and support him in that endeavor. And then I'll try to get in there somewhere with some coins. So we'll see where I fit in. But until then, I will catch you guys around. Have a great night and be safe.